Tuesday was election day in Arlington, at least for the war-hardened Arlington Democrats, in a municipality in Virginia where they hold all of the strings of power, according to the Washington Post, which had claimed in 2017, after the victories of Arlington Democrats, that there were so many Democrat votes in this municipality that it had decided the outcome of statewide elections for the past 2 decades. And yet, in an election that may analysts say make the November elections just a superfluous matter of form, the fate of 3 candidates not even on the ballot or participated in the primary elections remains unknown. And so we decided to check it out, dispatching our man on the street, Major Mike Webb, to inquire with elections officials in Arlington to demand answers to some probing questions, because the American people need to know.
Office of Elections, how can I help you?
Hey, how you doing? This is Major Mike Webb getting a call. Want to find out, do we have a status on the 3 folks who are still listed as in process?
No, we don't.
Oh, could I ask?
Sorry, we're busy. We're busy right now closing out the election, so we really don't have anything new on as far as candidates go.
Okay. This does kind of impact, I mean, like what these guys plan to do. Do they need to, redo their, campaign, do a write-in, things like that. Also, we have this holding of the Supreme Court that says that, basically when you delay free speech, I mean, that's irreparable injury, which is the first thing that you need to get an injunction, legally speaking. If these guys are qualified, I mean, what does it take to find out, okay, you got 125 signatures, you got these papers, put them on.
We are working on candidate filing things when we can, but right now we are busy trying to close out this election.
Okay, that's what you want to go with. Okay, well, just know that you've triggered the Voting Rights Act, and it's in court.
And so there you have it, folks. Elections officials in Arlington, Virginia have taken the position that they are far too busy, overwhelmed, apparently, closing out the election results for the Arlington Democrats, subordinating the concerns and rights of candidates seeking to qualify as Republican or Independent candidates in November. On the official election day, Tuesday, June 20th, also the deadline for candidates seeking to qualify for the ballot as independents or through other party organization mechanisms, just under 10% of voters had cast ballots in the Democratic primary as of 9 a.m. According to ARL Now, that included 7% who voted early or by mail and 2% voting at the polls Tuesday morning, according to Arlington County election officials. However, most local coverage has been limited to issues related to the Arlington Democrats, including the use of ranked choice voting for the 6-way race for the 2 open Arlington County Board seats, the recently passed missing middle housing ordinance allowing smaller-scale multifamily homes in neighborhoods previously zoned only for single-family detached houses, and the race for Arlington and Falls Church's top prosecutor, between incumbent Parisa Degoni-Tofty and her former deputy, Josh Katcher. According to reporters at ARL Now, although turnout on Tuesday was light compared to years in which federal races are on the primary ballot, it is in line with the last 4-year cycle, in 2019, when Degoni-Tofty defeated incumbent Theo Stamos for Commonwealth's attorney. Total voter turnout in that race was just under 17%. According to reporters at ARL Now, while the results of most races should be known within a few hours, the final tally for County Board will take a few days, potentially extending into the weekend, due to how ranked choice votes are tabulated, including the need to wait until all legal mailed-in ballots are received, but the fate of 3 candidates requiring only verification that they had either received the proper paperwork from the nominating political party, or whether the candidate had submitted the proper number of signatures on petitions to qualify for the ballot, and Arlington election officials have indicated that Major Mike Webb has solicited a sufficient number of signatures, has filed the required forms with both state and local officials, but, today, his qualification for the ballot remains in a pending status, for no other reason than that the elections officials are far too overwhelmed in a low turnout election to be worried about violations of anyone's rights. And, now, days after the election, it is now certainly known that with 98.18% of precincts reporting, or 54 of 55, there had only been a very low 16.49% turnout, amounting to only 28,638 ballots cast from a total pool of 173,619 registered voters. And Arlington election officials, in the most educated, by credentials, municipality in the state, a state ranked 7th in the nation, for educational attainment, trailing 6th ranked New Jersey, at least some are concerned that in the community with the most government scientists, ranked 14th nationwide for holders of graduate degrees, election officials appear to be experiencing difficulties tallying the vote during a record low turnout election, and this is their excuse for delay in reporting the disposition of 2 Republican and 1 independent candidate, facts that have triggered action under the Voting Rights Act of 1965, legal action first filed in April, naming the elections officials as defendants, and so, certainly they are fully aware. Currently, the matter is on appeal at the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, and responses are due from the defendants by August 1st, defendants who included Virginia Democratic Caucus House Majority Whip, Alfonso Lopez, Arlington County Sheriff Jose Quiroz, the Arlington Democrats and election officials from both the state and county. At this time, there has been no official statement from the Arlington Republicans on this issue that certainly affects the First Amendment free speech rights of their candidates, but that also represents violations of the 14th and 15th Amendments, triggering action under the Voting Rights Act of 1964 for the appointment of election observers, which would go into effect indefinitely, across the entire state, until the courts are fully satisfied that such violations have no possibility or potential for recurring in the future. That is the news for now in Arlington, and we shall keep you posted on this developing story.
This message was approved by Major Mike Webb. Honest.